You caught me. I had to close the door there's a little bit of noise going on out there. My sweet husband is doing the dishes, so we'll let him make some noise and be grateful for him. How's that? Anyway, welcome to our Tuesday Night Live on Facebook, on the Facebook page. And so if you're going to watch this live, or even if you're going to watch it on a replay, tell a friend and have them join in with the fun. I would love to see them here. All right. So today, I know there was the thing I wanted to tell you first too. So if you went to the website, whether it's for Little Hearts Academy or for um, the podcast Imperfect Heroes, you are going to start seeing a little pop-up where you can sign up for our newsletter. We don't inundate you. They only come out twice a month. And we just share information on the podcast. We give you some ideas for activities that are linked to the theme for the month. And then we also share maybe some resources that are out there that you can use to help you learn more about parenting, to connect with your kids, and to just find joy in parenting, right? And isn't that what we are about? And so um, go ahead and register and sign in. And I'd love to spend more time with you, right? Okay. So, anyway, today I'm really excited because we're talking about such a great episode. I am just so happy with this one. So, I'm just checking. I want to, yep. So, it's episode 138, and it's called Love at Home, Making Sure Every Child is Feeling Loved Every Day. And it's with devoted mom, Jenna Jones. So Jenna Jones comes to us out of uh, Las Vegas. She grew up there, and so you'll remember I spent 20 years in Vegas. We haven't been there since 2008 is when we left. So it's been a while. Anyway, I was able to reconnect with Jenna serendipitously. I was having a conversation with her stepmom and just about what's going on. And she talked to me a little bit about Jenna and what was going on. She used to hang out with my daughter, and it was fun catching up. But Jenna is just this great little mom now, and it's so much fun seeing that. So she has two little kids, a 6-year-old and I think a 2-year-old, and then one on the way that'll be here in about maybe 4 weeks or so. So she's just got about another month. And so she is knee deep in raising the little ones. And one of the things that I notice is that a lot of times you will see, experts that come in and they have the education and they've done all the research and they've written the books and they've done all of these things and they have great information that is important for us to know. And so what I did though is I was thinking we need to have, in addition to the educated experts, those who've gone on and done things um, outside of actual parenting, the true experts really are the moms and dads who are in knee deep in it. They are raising these little ones and having conversations about, well, how do you do this and how does this work for you and what's going on. And so Jenna is the first of this. We're going to be doing this every month. So every month from now on, one of my podcasts is going to be with a parent that we're just talking about how you're getting through things, what's going on, what are some of the issues and challenges that you are facing, because I trust that they're going to be different than the challenges I was facing. Not totally different though. Kids are kids, right? And parents are parents. And I was a stay-at-home mom until my kids got older, and then I went back to school and got my teaching degree and started with that. But so there are a lot of things, dealing with tantrums and the frustration and just how are you going to make ends meet and how are you going to make sure that your kids grow up and to be kind and nice people. And then there's the fighting between the siblings. That seems to be pretty universal. I was just on someone else's podcast today, and that won't drop until April. So I'll get you all the information on that when it happens. But um, and she does a parenting podcast. She's in Europe, and even she was saying that just the arguing between her two girls is just gets to her sometimes, doesn't it? All of us, it sure does. So I want to hear from you guys. So if you are interested in being on the podcast and having a conversation with me for everyone else to say, yep, that's it. Oh, great idea. When they're going to be doing that, I would love to have you on. And so you can always message me through Facebook or Instagram. I go to Instagram at 7:30, and you can always leave a message on the website, or you can just email me at djstutz@littleheartsacademyusa.com, and I'll put that in the comments. And then let me know if you're interested. So I'm going to tell you, though, that some of our themes that are coming up. So next month, we are talking about no, we aren't. I'm sorry. Patience. March is patience. April is managing changes. And so that can be changes in moving. It could be changes to a new school. It could be changes with a new sibling coming into the family. It could be just growing up, and, they change from a toddler to an elementary kid. And sometimes it's not just the kids that are managing changes. We are managing changes as well. And so we're going to talk about how to get through helping ourselves and helping our kids manage changes. And changes are good. It teaches them and helps them to build resilience and all that. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. So May is perseverance. Sorry. May is perseverance. June is joy. And August is kindness. And then September, we're going to be talking about self-control. And October is bravery. Sometimes there's a lot of scary things out there in October. And then November's gratitude, and December's spirituality, and how faith comes and plays into our family. And how do we manage that? And how do we teach that with our kids? So we're going to go through all of those things. If you're interested in one of those topics, let me know, and I'd love to have you on. So I've got next month's handled. So the patience one for March is handled. So April on, you're good, because we just kind of decided this. Well, I guess it was about a month ago we decided about getting parents in and getting it done. So, but let me tell you just a little bit about Jenna. Jenna is amazing. So she does work part-time, and she talks about that. And she talks about just how the things that they are doing, both she and her husband are doing, to make sure that the kids are feeling loved and safe and engaged in the family, right? And how are we going to keep them um, from wandering away emotionally from us? Because that's a big worry, and it's a big deal that's coming around with families. There's tons of studies that are out there right now that show that the more involved they are with screens, and it doesn't even have to be social, watching things on YouTube and watching things on Nickelodeon, I don't, Disney Channel and all of that, that the more time that they're spending doing that, especially if they're doing that without you right next to them, um, they are uh, less patient next month. And they are um, also more likely to be angry. They have fights and arguments. Their mood goes bad, and they start drawing away from the family. And that's not what we want. We don't want that. And so, how do we engage them then outside of that? And we start young, don't we? Yeah. And then we just make them um, feel so loved and safe. So one of the things that Jenna talked about, and I love this, and it's something that I really advocate for, is dads. Dads, we need you. We need you there with the kids, and we need you playing and engaging. And she said that her husband's love language is play. And so when he comes home from work, it's like, my kids, right? And they go off and they're playing, and they've made up their own games, and they have a good time, which is nice because Jenna is far along as she is, especially with the pregnancy. But even without, even if you're working mom and you come home and you both need to be engaged with the kids and get the kids involved in the things that you're doing. So it's just a lot of fun. We have a great time with our kids and talking about that. And how are you going to juggle, you know, all of these responsibilities? You have to play with the kids. You have to make them feel safe and loved. You've got to make sure that there's enough money to cover the bills, and you've got to cook. Someone has to cook. I'm not talking to moms necessarily. My husband's the best cook in our house, but you have to have food has to be made, and laundry needs to be done. The house needs to be kept up, and so that it's clean and it's healthier, so that there aren't as many germs. And with little guys, it's going to be cluttered, right? With there's just so many things that keep things um, cluttered. And so, what's the balance, right? How do you do that? So, we are talking about a lot of that stuff in the podcast. And so, I hope that you'll go and listen to it. It's so much fun. But really think about, am I making sure, right, that my kids feel that I am a source, whether you're mom or dad, and hopefully together, um, that we are a source of safety, of love, of teaching and engaging and setting those boundaries that make our kids feel safe, because then they know what to expect, right? When I come home, these are the rules. And it doesn't matter if mom or dad had a bad day at work. It doesn't matter if mom or dad are tired or whatever. These are the rules. And the fun thing is yeah, you have to put some work into it at the beginning, but the payoff is huge, huge. So one of the stories that I love, and this was back when we lived in Vegas as well, there was a family at our church, and they had a practice of saying prayer together as a family, mom and dad and all the kids together every night. Well, one night they were off on a date night, or I don't know, but they weren't home. And they left their oldest son in charge, and he was like 12. He was about there, and I think there were 4 kids in the family. And so they called, about halfway through to make sure everything's going okay, house doesn't burn down, all those things. And he said, "Hey, mom and dad, can I call you back? We're just about to start our prayer." Even without his parents there, he was going to lead the family in prayer, because that had been such a big part of who they are, their family identity, the values that were taught to them as they were growing up. And so, even though it may be hard at the beginning, the payoff as they get older gets bigger and bigger. And so, it's nice when you don't have to be on their case about picking up after themselves, or you don't have to be on their case about how we talk to our each other, and how we take care of our home, and how the things that we watch and engage in. We've already taught those things. And so then they start doing it on their own. And then you can feel like, oh, I may be an imperfect hero, but I'm a good hero, right? Right. So anyway, I hope that you will join us next week. I am talking and sharing the ideas on teaching our children how we show affection to others in appropriate ways. So when who do we give kisses and hugs to, and how do we show affection within our family? And then we move out to friends, and how do we treat our friends? And it goes on. So that's next week. I'll be talking more about that next Tuesday. So until then, let's find joy in parenting. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.